outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Hello and welcome to Country with Celine. He's reached well over 1 million total streams with over 90,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Just released his new single, Somebody New, and let me tell you, he is on the rise. Please welcome Chris Moreno.
But I could get used to her eyes locked on mine. That look I can't deny as the night turns to day.
Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Celine. Thank you for having me on here today.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. So let's talk about it. Somebody New. I love the song. Have to put it out there. It's your new single out too. So let's talk about the feedback. I know it's been nothing but positive things, and it pretty much crushed it. Within 3 days of the release, you had over 15,000 streams on Spotify. Now it's up to 44,000. You've been featured a lot more. So how blessed have you been feeling?
Really blessed, and thank you. You did good research right there. That's it's a very accurate statistical count. It was very cool. So like, to backtrack, like when quarantine started and all that, I've been doing live streams for like the past year, every week, and the real cool thing about that is I've been able to just, as I write songs, test them out in real time to my fans that are watching, and anytime I play a new song and there's like just like a consistent, unanimous, like, oh, like this is one you need to record, I listened to that, and that was the main one that kind of stuck out over the past 6 months was that song. So I was finally really happy to finally put it out there. And so yeah, it's gotten a good reaction. It's very like, it's a very me song. It's mid tempo. It's got some rock. It's got a little pop. Got a little country in it. And so I think it's a pretty good representation of where I'm at sound wise.
I tell myself I'm falling in love with somebody new. Yeah, I'm falling, trying to believe it's true. But when she looks in my eyes, I know she sees it too. No, I can't fall for nobody but you.
So when did you write this song? Like in early 2020, like when COVID like really hit, or like more like in September?
That's a good question. I feel like I almost forget. I think it was early 2020, pretty sure. Maybe early to mid 2020. Yeah, it couldn't have been too early actually, now that I think about it. Maybe it was like mid 2020, like summertime, something like that.
Well, it's safe to say that your fans have a really good ear. They know hits when they hear it.
Yeah, they do.
Pardon?
I appreciate that. Yeah, they do.
Now, is there a music video coming out anytime soon?
Yeah, we're actually filming it tomorrow. Actually, before I was just on the call with my video guy, and we were trying to figure out what we're gonna do for it, and kind of just how we're gonna go about coming up with a concept. But yeah, it was cool. I wanted to like test the reaction and then just see if it was worthwhile kind of investing in a video, and I think it's gonna be worth it for this one. So this one and then the next song I have coming out, I think we're both gonna do videos for both of them. So.
Oh, okay. So you're already dropping the bomb. You got another single coming out.
I do.
Is there a date that you can give out, or no date yet? A month?
I think it's gonna be sometime in April, probably very late April.
Oh, that's soon.
Yeah, I just dropped the teaser last night on TikTok, and like TikTok is like, I mean, I'm sure we could go into a whole other conversation, but that's like a really good way to test songs as well. And I already have like 30,000 views in like hours, so it's really. The feedback was already there for that one from my fans, but I just wanted to test it, and I think this next one's gonna be good.
'Cause you move like a riddle running through my mind, and you got something that I can't define, can't deny the spark that we felt from the start. Tell me, do I have a shot at your heart?
Oh, but TikTok, like, just to quickly mention it, it's crazy for artists. Like, it's literally insane. You can post like a little snippet of something and it will just explode. Like, it is so smart for all of you guys to utilize that platform, because it can really take off your career now. Any social media.
Everybody, like I'm not sure if you're on there, but if you are, I'll find you after. But like, I think the fact that you can reach a new audience so quickly is incredible. Like, I released a song called Used to This last year, and it was a pretty strong one for me. It was probably my strongest yet. Um, and then I resisted TikTok, and then at the end of the year, like December, I was like, I'll try TikTok, and I posted that song, and like the streams went up, like no joke, like 20,000% on the song. It was like literally through the roof because of TikTok.
Yeah.
So like the fact that like they're seeing it and then they're actually going to listen, and there's like a hungry audience for new music on there is so awesome. Like I didn't know it was to that extent. So it's
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And I was on the Spotify too, and for used to it, I think it's like 400,000 streams at this point now. I'm pretty sure it's like way up there now.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a song called It Was You that has about 400,000. Yeah. And then Used to This is up at like the 200s or something like that. So
yeah, see, but I mean, like, look at that. Like, that's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, and you seem like an artist that really writes his songs based on personal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just talk about somebody new. Somebody new. Oh my gosh, I have it written down here. Somebody but
you got it. No, you got it right.
I got no idea why I had that. Okay, so that song really seems to be resonating with a lot of people. So can you kind of give them what the fans kind of want to hear about, like, your personal experience with that song?
Yeah, sure, for sure. So also so when I write songs, like a lot of Nashville has this way of like it's all about like the line and how clever you can make the line of like the the title of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And like I come from that background, but also like a rock background where it's more of like the feeling. And so like when I write lyrics, I don't care if I'm like necessarily impressing you with the most clever words. I need to evoke emotion. And so those are the only songs that I'm going to sing. And so that's like whenever I write, and this is why I write all my songs. I co-write, but I also write all my songs. It's just if I can feel something, then I know other people will feel it. So however I can get to there is all I care about. And so that was a very real situation where like I was in a long-term relationship for a couple years and we lived together and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't just get out of those a lot of times without like you don't get over it in a week. And so it was just like about like the process of taking some time, going through the breakup, but then eventually you start to try to date and you try to, you meet new people, and it kind of is hard because you end up comparing them to that person. And like some people are just a little bit harder to let go than others. And that was that situation. It took me a while to move on. And I was just like, man, this feeling of like staring someone else in the eyes, but like thinking, you're not necessarily thinking about someone else, but like in the pit of your stomach, you're like, I shouldn't be here. Like, it's like that kind of thing. And you're just like, man, why can't I just fall for this person like I fell for the other person? Like, why shouldn't it should be easy? And so I wrote a bunch of songs around that topic, but like none of them captured the feeling quite like Somebody New did, at least for me. And so I figured, people would be able to relate to that if I could relate to it myself. So
Yeah, and a lot of people have been in that exact situation.
Right.
Of people. So hearing that, they can connect to it so easily, and being vulnerable too with a song, it makes it so much more authentic, and it makes it easier for people to connect with. Like going on a song that you wrote, Same Old Places. To me, that song resonates so much with me. As soon as I heard it, I've been playing it like almost every day because like I can't be in the same old place. I want to get out somewhere new. Like I want to go and travel. I want to go and be I want to go be Celine, but somewhere else. So like I want to get out of here. I want to go to Nashville. I want to, so just like listening to that, like on repeat all the time. It just, so thank you for that song. I just have to.
Wow. Seriously, thank you for saying that. And like I've had a good amount of people say that about that song. And like I said, I every song I write, it needs to be from a personal experience for me to connect with it. And that song was like, I finally I was able to put into a song like this idea of like, not listening to the noise around you, whether that's friends or family or whatever. Like we have to listen to ourselves and choose the life we want. And so I obviously put that through the perspective of a girl. And yeah, when I released it last year, I was like, it's even more prominent now because we literally can't believe it if we want to. So it's like, it had a kind of a double meaning for last year, but yeah, glad you connected with me.
But she knows she's gotta get away from the same old places, same old story, same old faces telling her what she can't be. She's got dreams and she's ready to chase them, but she knows she ain't gonna make it in the same old places.
And now you've toured quite a bit. I was reading.
Yeah.
You played over 500 shows in a bunch of different states, and you're touring again starting March 26th. Is that the first show that you're gonna play, or have you like been already kind of playing a bunch of shows like down in Nashville?
Yeah, so the one in March, that is Nashville. So I'll be doing that, and then I have one in the Carolinas the following weekend. So I've been doing mostly just Nashville stuff. I'm trying to get out on the road, and I have here and there, but it's just like there seems to be a lack of consistency. But you know, whenever it picks up, I'm ready to go. So
That's exciting. That's exciting news.
Yeah.
Hopefully it picks up soon.
I think
Hopefully
it's better.
in Nashville too, I was talking to other people. They were saying how like life there is kind of going back to normal as well. Like down on Broadway, like people are performing finally. It's just like the masks or I guess mandatory and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so yeah, everywhere's open and it's limited capacity, so you're dealing with a lot of lines. That's the only unfortunate part. But I mean, it's you get masks and mostly sitting at tables, but it still is. It's definitely closer than what it was. So
That's good.
hopefully it
That's
just keeps
good
moving.
news.
Yeah, hopefully it just keeps moving in that direction.
Hopefully, yeah. Here we're still stuck. There's
How are you guys? Yeah.
It sucks, but what are you gonna do, I guess. But going back on touring, have you ever decided to maybe like come to Canada? Like hopefully when like all things go well.
Yeah, I would honestly love to. Canada and the UK are like the two out of the country's parts that I really want to go to. Like I said, I've even spent some time up in Canada, and I even know a few people up there, so I would love to get up there. Seriously, like I want to tour everywhere. Like, you know, I'm still very much like in the beginning stages of like touring, and I really want to go everywhere. Like,
You just want to get up there and go. Take off straight away.
Yeah, like that's why we do this is to play to people, and you know, just that feeling of people singing along to our songs that's why we do it. So.
You know, I just have to say one more thing. You look like Brett Young. Have you forgotten that? I feel like you might have.
Yeah, people have said it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I just random thought, but I was just watching you talk. I'm like, I have to tell him that he looks really like.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's maybe one or two others that people have compared, but that's a huge compliment. So thank you.
Anytime.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Take it and run with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put it on my new bio. Actually.
Yes,
so
do it.
I'm gonna quote Celine, and say.
Please do
like
that. Celine says I look like Brett Young. Yeah. So let's just get to know you. I know before you were mentioning that you lived in Boston. So let's talk about your childhood. Did you grow up with a musical background?
It's kind of funny. No one in my family does music. Nobody does anything. So, I mean, I do remember, I have memories of like my parents really liking music and having it on in the house. I just fell in love with it at an early age. I was kind of like a little bit of an introverted kid. And like, I mean, I wasn't like too shy, but I was a little shy and just kind of like, I just liked to keep to myself. And I just would literally be able to sit and listen to music for 8 hours and like be the happiest person in the world. So I just remember that. And then I ended up getting a guitar at like the age of 10 or 11. And I remember starting to write songs shortly kind of after that. But yeah, I've always just loved music. And I didn't really start singing until way later on. I sang a little bit like in high school, but like not a lot. I was mostly a guitarist and a songwriter. So my story is a little weird. I took a long break. And then after doing the corporate America thing for a while, I was like, I want to become a singer. Yeah. So I started like way later like than some people, but I had always played guitar. So I'd always done that. I'll say that.
It's okay. If that's not something that you want to do for the rest of your life, you got to go and chase after something that you want to do. Like even Luke Combs was, I'm pretty sure, the exact same way. He left college to go and pursue a music career because he wasn't happy where he was, right? Yeah. So as long as you're doing something that you love, take that leap.
No, and I think I honestly think it's been a blessing because I wouldn't change it because I know what life is like without it. So it's, you know what I mean? I know what's on the other side, and I don't take it for granted. You know, the fact that I can do this as what I make a living at is awesome, you know. So
Of course. No, of course. That's amazing. But now you're the songs. You were saying how you grew up listening to music. Okay, what genre? Country, rock, what was it?
kind of all over. It was, I mean, like I started with like rock, like even like Green Day, like in Offspring, and then like Matchbox 20, Goo Goo Dolls. I even had like a metal phase. I had a hip hop phase.
You
I
were
had an
all over the place.
EDM phase in college, and then the country phase was a little bit later with like more of the new school. Which in country, like I respect the heck out of the genre and the songwriting and the storytelling, and that has worked its way into my sound now. But like I can't claim to be have like grown up with old school country. Like, you know, I just am what I am, and I think my music is a mixture of all the worlds. And I do listen to a lot of the newer school country though. It's definitely a big factor into my music now. So I'm very much a hybrid though. But yeah, I mean, even just like bands like Aerosmith, like I grew up a rocker. I mean, I was a straight up rocker. Like, so.
You should come out with a rock album next.
I know, right?
Completely switch genres. Just release it.
Should I start screaming like I did my high school band? I was like, I literally would like scream a little bit, like.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's like metallic. That's
yeah, it'd be a change of pace, but.
It would keep fans interested and like with their eyes open, wanting to see what you got next in store.
Probably,
that's like what Garth Brooks did. He literally just.
Oh yeah, right.
Right.
Chris, whatever the name.
Yes, I can't even. Apparently now he's coming out with another album that like with that like pretending to be that.
Oh
guy.
really? Chris Gaines or maybe it was.
Yes,
like that?
that's his name. That's it, right? I couldn't remember it. Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting, but I mean, hey, if it works, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk. You made the leap to Nashville. What year?
It was 2018.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So like basically, so I grew up in Massachusetts, kind of in the central part of the state. I went to school in the western part of the state, and then Boston is the east part. And I moved there after college. So I lived in the city for like 8 or 9 years. So it was cool. I got the whole like city experience, and I would play out at the bars out there and stuff like that. And then just as I started to get a little bit of traction, the question is like, okay, well, how do I get to that next level of where I want to be? And then I realized like everybody's path is through Nashville, you know? Yep. And I really wanted to change anyways. It was time. Like I wanted to change the pace. I had went through that breakup, which I mentioned, and I was like, well, this is probably a nice time to go make a change. And I was gonna move down with a sales job. I was trying to get another sales job because that's what I had done all those years, and it just didn't work out. And then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go full time with music. And I was kind of scary, but ended up making it work somehow. So.
Of course, like I said before, do what you love, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you gotta take a leap of faith, and it's time for change. When change is needed.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta make it happen. Even if it's scary, you just gotta do it.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that's actually what's been like a little bit tough about the last year with you know, quarantine or whatever. It's like, we're not able as humans to take the risks and just experience the new things that we want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's like a psychological aspect where like, I feel like that year went by so quick, and like people, like I've heard this, it's like the less you experience that's new, the faster time seems to just go by. And it's like, I think that's what happened, right? It's like we weren't able to really do any new things. So it was like,
we were able to do absolutely nothing. I mean, unless you lived in Florida, because Florida, there was no lockdown, no nothing.
I know.
Yeah, they continue life as it is.
My brother just moved there. I got to go visit sometime soon.
You got to go live there. That's what we got to do now. We got to go live
Seriously.
there.
Yeah, thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Though 2020, it was, everything was pretty much put on hold. I mean, even for teenagers who are graduating high school, like their grade school year, that's supposed to be the best time of your life, and just underneath their feet, right?
Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah, and like 2020, at the same time, it makes you really become grateful for like what we have around us and like life how it was before. Like,
Right? I know.
it,
None of us are gonna take those things for granted that we used to take for granted.
no, absolutely not. As soon as you guys are able to go back on the road, back performing, you're gonna feel so freaking good,
I
like
know.
so freaking good.
It's so true.
Yeah. So let's hear what you would say to this. What artist would you want to collaborate with? If you could pick any artist in the world, what artist would it be?
Oh, it's a good question. I'm a big fan of Ryan Tedder, who's the songwriter. He's in One Republic, and I wouldn't mind, like I'd really like to collaborate with him just to see where like I can push my sound. Um, I think my favorite songwriter is Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls, so kind of have to I kind of have to go with him.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. If you grew up listening to all of that as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, what are your goals that you want to accomplish by the end of the year? You were saying you're going to release a song in April. Is
Yeah.
there going to be an album maybe coming out anytime
There
soon?
there might be an EP. People have definitely been asking like when's an EP. It's just you kind of get in this cycle because singles can go a little bit further for you. You know what I mean? Because it's just like you can promote a single for a couple months and then you move on to the next one and the next one. So as an independent artist, I think it's easier, but you'll definitely get at least 5 songs from me this year, probably more. I'm gonna try to record another cover too, because
Ooh,
I did a cover of Fast Car and that's been doing pretty well. So
yeah.
do another one, and yeah, I've just been, because we've been home, I've been trying to work on the streaming numbers and just trying to reach as many people as I can through that.
Hmm.
But then after that, I'm itching to get back on the road, and I have a band that I tour with, and just make that show as good as it could possibly be. That's the goal.
Yeah, of course. You're gonna have all the energy that you could have asked for.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
for
true, right?
sure. Yeah, you've been
True, right?
saving it all up in 2020.
Yeah, I'm sure that first weekend I'll be exhausted because I'll be like, wow, I'm not used to this, but it'll get back to it.
Yeah, you'll get right back into it. So
Yeah.
now, before I let you go, we're gonna play a little game I like to call Country with Celine Rapid Fire. So basically, I'm gonna shoot you out a couple questions, try to answer
Okay.
them as fast as you can. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. So your favorite Netflix binge?
Oh, there was a show called Kingdom. It's like MMA. Nick Jonas was in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
My boyfriend was just finished watching it, and I ruined it for him because I watched it before. So I
yeah.
told him what happened to Nick Jonas, and he was gonna kill me. So
Somebody told me before too, and I was like, damn it, I already
yeah,
knew.
shit.
Or I read something or whatever. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV, but I got hooked on that, and I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. How about your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Who is my celebrity crush? Why am I drawing a blank here? Oh, I think it's Colby Calais, actually.
Oh, okay. That took
Yeah,
me for a second, but I know who you're talking about. I think now she's in a band. I think she's
yeah. Gone West.
yes,
Yeah, I don't know. Something about the mixture of how she sings and just,
of
her
course. And she's
personality.
cute too.
Yeah, she's really cute.
Okay, so I have to ask this question too. You've performed quite a few times. Okay, so you understand what fans can be like at shows and stuff. So, what's the weirdest thing a fan has done, if they have done anything?
Let me think. Like in person?
Yeah, like in person. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I have anything that's interesting. I mean, you get a lot that'll like follow you to your car and stuff like that, like that kind of thing.
That's creepy. That's
Because
really
I'm at that level where like they're very like playing a lot of like small venues, and it's like it's very intimate, and like it's just you're
yeah.
just hanging out after, so it's like you're very accessible. So
Oh my God, that's too funny. I had
yeah,
to ask because I saw like Harry Styles is one thing. A fan threw her underwear on stage. So I'm like, I wonder what happened with him because you performed quite a bit. So
yeah. I don't think I've gotten that yet, but
maybe eventually, who knows?
I'll know I've made it once that happens.
Yeah, once that happens, yes. And remember that I'm the one that said this.
Yes, I'll let you know when it happens.
So you're from Boston. Now you live in Nashville. So The Boston Bruins or the
Mhm.
Nashville Predators? Which are your team?
Yeah, it's always going to be Boston, but Nashville will be the second. I mean, Boston's like, and I'm not going to say that I'm the biggest sports guy, but I also I grew up doing sports and stuff like that, so I'm into it. But
Mm-hmm.
um, there's a Boston pride aspect to it, and just like the run that the whole city had, like the past decade or like
Yeah.
ish, was incredible with all the teams winning championships. So it's it's always going to be Boston.
Always gonna be Boston. How about the Patriots? Are you still a fan of
Yeah,
them?
uh, yeah.
Yeah, even
Although
for John?
I was 100% rooting for Brady. Like I think I would just always root for Brady over any team. Like I really respect him that much. So
Mm-hmm. And
even
Brady,
over the
he's
yeah, his work ethic, the fact that he's humble, like I just think it's like I don't know. There's a lot to respect there, and the fact that he works as hard as he does.
So what motivates you? What's
Motiv-
something that really motivates you into becoming like a better person, a better songwriter?
That's a really good question. I mean, the reason I do this is because like when you're growing up and you're listening to music, and even now, like it's like it's the one thing that like you can escape with, that literally like no matter what your problem is, it can like take
Mhm.
you away from that, and like or just make you feel like you're not alone, and like I don't even know how to articulate it, but it's I know everyone feels it, and it's like that amazing thing. Like, well, of course I want to do music, um, and so my ultimate goal is to give people that I've been given from the artists that I follow. But um, really, kind of the cool thing, I'm pretty big into like self-development and just like this whole idea that like we really do create our own lives and our own destinies, and like we have so much more power than we even realize. And
Mhm.
for me, like it's been super rewarding, just the act of getting better at songwriting, getting better at singing, like this whole like just having something to wake up and work towards every day, just a goal, you know, is just so awesome. And it's like I finally have gotten to a place where like I can truly just enjoy the journey. And like I'm as ambitious as anyone. I want to get to I want to get to really high places, but it's just the journey is rewarding in itself. It really is. The fact that like if I can keep releasing music and this one does better than the other one, it's like it's competitive, but it's also like just keep being the best version of yourself and good things will happen. And so I'm just yeah, it gives back to me. It's very rewarding, even though it's hard work. So,
It's okay. If it's something that you want to do, hard work won't stop you. You just keep on pushing, keep on
right.
going through it.
And if it was easy, it wouldn't mean as much.
Exactly. And you have to get those like butterflies too when you think about something that you want to do as well, right?
Right.
You have to
Right.
get that like nervous feeling, the like, and goals are so important to set for yourself. Like
Yep.
and they really push you to become a better person too. Better
Right.
person like in yourself, like better person around, like and you become so much more motivated when you set yourself goals. Then when you achieve that goal, it's like just like this feeling that comes over you, like wow, like I can do anything. Like I crushed this. What's the next one that I'm gonna crush? And just really makes you a better person.
Right. And clearly like you're doing that too with your channel and everything. Like but that's what I've learned too, is like for your goals, I think it's better to have the very short-term goals. I've kind of realized this versus like just your 10-year. You have both, have your 10-year, 5-year, like, but like if all your focus is on is like you want the 100,000 subscriber or followers, like then you won't appreciate 1,000, 2,000. Like that really has been like is a big thing, because it's like none of this happens overnight. It just all takes a while. Whatever you're doing, it's going to take a while. So it's like you might as well try to enjoy every little thing. Like even me, like hitting the 100,000 monthly listener mark. Like I didn't necessarily think it was going to happen like this quick. I remember 4 years ago, I didn't know how to hit 1,000. So it was like, you know what I mean? It's just, but then I look at other people and I'm like, well, this guy's not even signed and he has 500,000. I'm like, so where am I? So it's like, it's easy to compare, but you don't want to fall into that trap. Just like,
And you have to appreciate every single small victory. You have
right.
to. Exactly.
And like those are real people. Like that's the other thing you gotta remind. It's not a number. Like those are actually like those are actual each individual
Mm-hmm.
people. So like when you really think about it in context like that, then it's like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Oh wow, is correct.
Yeah. Like even like fucking, I don't know, really like just even visualizing like 25 people sitting there and be like, this is the best song I've ever heard. Like that is crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I
Exactly.
try to remain grounded that way.
That's good though. That's really good to be grounded that way and to still be humble no matter how much success you have. Because you have some people as well who they have a lot of success, but they're not grounded like whatsoever. They're not.
No, and yeah, I mean, for me, like I don't have a chance of changing. Like, and so I've already like I said, I've lived a lot of life with like the job I had before. So it's not like I'm like a 21-year-old kid who's like, oh yeah, I deserve the world. Like, give it to me. Like, I'm just like, you know, I
You've
appreciate
lived and you've learned. That's
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for chatting with me on Country with Celine. It was such a pleasure talking to you. I'm so excited for your release in April with the single, and if there's an EP coming out.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to connect and all that.
We have to connect. I'm gonna keep you up to that, okay?
Okay. Please do. Please do.
Before you, I was the guy at the bar, shutting it down